Hello everybody, welcome back. This is video 2 in my series about artist residencies. My name is Peppa, my artist name is Peppa Lama, and I am recording this video from my 4th residency for 2026. I am on location in Cappadocia in Turkey, and I have been invited here as part of the ARC Residency Programm, which is hosted by the Taskonaklar Hotel. The ARC stands for A Residence of Creation, and I'm here for 1 month to participate. And I wanted to give you an update on my experience so far, because people are asking a lot of questions about what an artist residency is, because it is definitely becoming a trend, it's becoming popular, and I myself am hosting a residency later this year in Costa Rica. So I wanted to follow up from that first video that I made about residencies and just kind of report back on what I've learned from this one, and just elaborate a little bit more about some of the things that I touched on in the first video. So if you want to learn more about my residency, you can go to my website, which is peppalama.com, and you can follow the link to Life is Art Residency. It's going to be hosted by me on the beach in Costa Rica from November the 30th until December the 13th of 2026. Applications are open, and they're going to be open until September the 7th. So if you'd like to apply, please follow that link on my website, read all about it, and if it sounds like a good fit for you, go ahead and hit the application button on the website. But enough about my residency. We're here to talk about the one that I'm at right now. As I said, it's called ARC, A Residence of Creation, and I made a couple of notes about it because, in my opinion, of the 4 that I've done this year, this one has been by far, in my personal experience, the best, and that's because in my understanding of what a residency is, this has been the closest. As I kind of mentioned in the first video, there isn't really a textbook definition or a dictionary definition of what an artist residency is, and it can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But the reason that I love this one so much is because, and I will read like what is listed as like the offering on their website. It says the program is a residency initiative based in Uçhisar, Cappadocia, which is dedicated to supporting contemporary artistic production through research, dialogue, and site-sensitive practice. And so for me personally, I am totally a history nerd. I love books, I love reading, I love studying. So the focus on the fact that this is a research-based residency was very appealing to me, because for me, it's not just about, in my mural practice, it's not just about throwing paint on the wall. I need to understand the why. I need to speak to the client, which, as it says here, it's about the dialogue. It's about connecting with the people in the environment, understanding what they want, understanding what's going to work the best in the space. And as it says here, site-sensitive practice, it's also like very resonant to me with my mural practice, because unlike other pieces of art, for example, if you paint something on a canvas in your studio, a small scale piece of art is portable, right? You can paint it in your studio, then you could take it to a gallery, you could take it to a store, you could take it to someone's house, you could hang it on one wall, move it to another wall. A small scale piece of work is portable, whereas a mural is, in of itself, a site-sensitive artistic creation. So there's a few reasons I chose this residency and why it's resonating so much with me, but the site-sensitive part of the practice was very, very, like, as I said, resonant, because it relates mostly to my practice. As a muralist, it's important to me to create murals and artwork that are reflective of the environment, so being site-sensitive is already a big part of my practice. And this is something I really encourage of you, even if you're not a muralist, but you're interested in residencies in general. Be site sensitive. Go to a different place, something that's outside of your comfort zone, something that's not like your typical day-to-day, and go and see what putting yourself in a different environment, in a different landscape, in a different culture is going to bring out of you creatively, and see what being sensitive to that site is going to inspire you to create. So there's a lot of reasons I chose this residency, but those are some of the main ones. And just to read a little more about what this program is all about, the program aims to provide invited artists with the time, the space, the logistical support, and the curatorial guidance necessary for the development of new work. And those are things that are super important about a residency as well. Like, what is a residency? Well, this is a great description. It's a place that gives you the time, the space, the logistical support, and the curatorial guidance to create work. And it depends on your medium, it depends on what you're looking to do and where you're looking to go. And if a residency is something that you're curious about, but you're not quite sure where to start, I would just encourage you to be curious. Is there a place in the world that perhaps you haven't been yet, but you've always wanted to go? Perhaps there's a country that just keeps popping up in your peripheral. You've seen photos and videos of it. Something about it looks inspiring. There's something about the culture, the history, the music, the architecture. There's something about that place that really speaks to you. Start looking for residencies in those locations. And then depending on your medium or your practice, look for a residency in that location that supports what you want to do. If you're a painter like me, look for a residency that supports, and as it says here, gives logistical support and curatorial guidance for that practice. This is what a residency is supposed to provide. It's not just a place. The support and the guidance is a big part of the piece. So if that's something that you're looking for, time, space, logistical support, and curatorial guidance should be something that you are aiming for if you want to do a residency. Get curious about where you want to go. Understand what you want to do, which is, what is your practice? And then I would encourage you to write these down: time, space, logistical support, curatorial guidance, and start looking for residencies in those locations that are going to give you what you want to achieve out of the residency experience. There's a ton of resources online. If you just type in, for example, say you've always wanted to go to Italy, type in Italy, Artist Residency, Ceramics, and see what comes up. I guarantee you there's going to be a ton of options for you. And so just start deep diving, do your research, click on all of the links, look where these places are. What do they give you? What kind of curatorial guidance are they giving? What kind of logistical support? What kind of space is going to be provided? What's the duration? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 2 months? Is it going to be a fully funded residency, or are you going to have to finance it yourself? Think about all of these things while you're doing your research and just get really curious about noticing what you notice. Is there something about one of the places that's cool? Wow, this one's in an old castle. Wow, this one's in the mountains. Wow, this one's on the coast. There's a ton of options out there. So as I said, get curious, do your research, and see what you can find that's going to give you the most supportive experience in the residency that you choose for yourself. And something else that I wanted to read from the website, it says here, this residency, the ARC, they really focus on the development of new work while encouraging engagement with the cultural, geological, architectural, and artisanal heritage of Cappadocia. So this residency is very much focused on supporting the artists that are invited here to really get out and explore and engage with the existing creative community that's already here. And that's something that's so wonderful about Turkey in general. There is such a rich history in this country. It's literally the bridge between Asia and Europe. There's just been so many phenomenal things that have happened, like historically here, culturally, religions, like everything in the world. There's incredible architecture here. There's incredible art forms here, and like all of the things. I've been to pottery, ceramics, textile weaving, calligraphy, like you name it, there's every kind of art form here, and there's so many talented, incredible people that are still, there's a long, rich history here as well that are keeping these traditions alive, and that's something about this particular residency that, as I said, it really, really spoke to me. So there's a couple of little things to look into if you are interested in checking out a residency for yourself. Perhaps you've never done one before, you're starting to hear about it, it's becoming a buzzword, it's something that you're interested in. If you're a commercial artist like me, it's a wonderful opportunity to take time away from having to create to sell, having to create for a deadline, having to create for a client. This gives you the time and the space and the support and the logistical guidance for you to create, a body of work that is just for you, that is site sensitive, that is is going to bring out something creatively in you, perhaps that you couldn't have done in your home studio or in your own environment. That is the beauty of a residency, and that's what I really encourage you to do. Get curious about countries that have kind of popped up in your mind and you haven't been there before. This is a really wonderful way to explore a place that you haven't been but you'd like to see, especially if you have a creative background, because that's something wonderful about the human condition, right? We are inherently artists, we are inherently creative, and every country is going to have their own culture and their own traditions and their own history around creativity. And whatever form of creativity it is that you practice, as I said, whether you're a painter, you're a ceramicist, you're into architecture, you're into design, you're into photography, whatever it is, there is going to be something in a certain country, in a certain region, that's really going to inspire you. So get curious, do your research, and find a residency that's going to give you the time, the space, the logistical support, and the I'm really struggling with this word, curatorial guidance for you to have the best residency experience that you possibly can. I'm going to put all the information that I just said down below in the show notes. If you have any questions whatsoever about a residency, please send me an email or get in contact with me. I'm more than happy to share my experience. As you know, I've been working nomadically as a mural artist for over 9 years now, and I've been the resident artist in a couple of hotels that I've worked at over the years, plus I was the official resident artist of a resort in El Salvador for about a year. So I've had a lot of experience as a resident artist in a muralist capacity, but I've also now had the experience as a participant in 4 different artist residencies around the world. So this is something I really, really believe in for your creative practice, and I really, really encourage anybody that's curious about finding out more about a residency, traveling for a residency, anything that comes out of this experience that makes you want to explore your creativity in a different way, in a supportive creative container. I really encourage you to go for it. And if there's anything I can do to help you through that process, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find more about me and my work at my website. I'm Peppa Lama pretty much anywhere. And thank you so much for checking in. As I said, any questions, just let me know, and get online right now. Think of a place you want to go, think about what you want to create, and see what's out there. There are so many opportunities for you to travel and create and be the artist of your life. And don't ever forget that life is art. Have a good one.